So, just couple of things that have happened over the week that I thought was funny. Statements, presidential statements, which me personally, that's one of the things that I pride myself on, that I studied very hardly on, and everything else like that. So, with that being said, one of the funny things that someone brought up to me was, hey, they're asking was like, hey, Gunny, the whole thing that happened at Quantico with the president and the Secretary of War, um, um, what what is that going to mean for the Marines? And it's like nothing. That's kind of how we are anyway. So it was, and I'm not saying that I'm not having a go at that either. Just that's the truth. It spent, and yeah, I know. And y'all have to understand that Marines are like the worst group of salon crowd and clientele you can imagine. If you see a TV show and it's about Marines and they're like, and it goes salute to officer, you look at your friend, you're like, he's a shitbag salute. That was terrible. It's just the way we are. Everything gets graded, so it's just like it's terrible. So, um, with that being said, that's the way we are. So, there's several times that when we were in California, there were several Marines that we wanted to reach out to see if they would be speakers at our ball. Excuse me. And I was told no, he's overweight. And you think that's a joke. No, that was the actual truth. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to bring any bad credit or any bad press on their name. But yeah. And once again, the whole thing, just absolutely shot off my mind. The whole thing with Honorable Mr. Hickson saying that now it's the Secretary of War. I really don't have a problem with it, but it's kind of. I mean, you got to ask why. Why are we changing this? I mean, I, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if he was like if we were in the midst of Afghanistan and Iraq again, well, it was a two front war shit going on, and obviously damn, what was that? What's Djibouti? Djibouti, yeah. I mean, I get it, but as of right now, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just not one of the things that, I mean, it's like, dude, just wait a year. Let's let all the smoke clear first before we start changing names and shit. Then trying to think, who's the last one? No, I'll think of it eventually. But the last Secretary of War was in 1947. I know he was from North Carolina, but I can't remember his name now. North Carolina, 47. I'll think of it eventually.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. I'm racing.
But anyway, 47 was the last war. It got switched over, and of course, the first one being Henry Knox, and that one couldn't be any better. And then Pickering, I think, was our second. So, with that being said, those two guys, I get it, because you had really, I mean, we didn't have a defense department set up. It was only war at the time, and so yeah. And anyway, the change, it wasn't absolutely necessary. So. One of the things I do want to play here is a couple of statements. I heard something that sometimes you can't really pick out what a president will say or won't say. So sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But Sometimes it's on brand, sometimes it's not. So I picked out three that were on brand and one that wasn't. So okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read these out. Okay. On the right side, obviously, I'm going to read out the presidents. You should know who these guys are. So, first one's Abraham Lincoln. Going down is Lyndon Baines Johnson, obviously from Texas. Good guy. Democrat. So, Republican, Democrat. And then you have Donald J. Trump. Okay, that's, Republican. And then at the bottom, you have Teddy, who is our Theodore Roosevelt, who is also a Republican. So I have four statements off to the side here. Okay, the first one is we do build submarines. We do not build ships. Do you know in the Second World War there were freighters and different types, but we were doing a ship a day, and now we don't do ships. I am a fan of I am not a fan of the ships you do. Okay, that's the first one. Obviously, a little bit gave away a lot of a couple of the presidents there, but we'll keep moving. Okay, what kills a skunk is the publicity it gives itself. Okay, and the next one is when they call roll in Senate, the senators do not know whether to answer present or not guilty. Okay, the next one is but whenever I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. You never do have much margin there. See if you can leave me an inch where the zipper ends. Because he burped it during round back to my bunghole so I can let it out if I need to. All right, obviously a couple typing errors in there. We'll just roll with it. All right, so a couple of these statements you do have some pretext in here. So the first one is talking about ships in the Second World War. So the Second World War, you can rule out Teddy and Abraham. So that one right there is going to belong to either of these two top guys. Got that? All right, the skunk. All right. That goes to any of them. Call roll in the Senate. All right, then go to the end of them. The last one, talking about zippers. So zippers, you could pretty much rule out Abraham Lincoln. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and play this out. So the first one is obviously going to make a lot of sense. It's the one that can go to all of them. So we know that Abraham Lincoln is going to talk about the skunk. So there we are. Okay, so with that being said, Teddy was the one that said that they don't know to say present or not guilty. Okay, those were the two that would actually fit to both. So now we have our two outliers done. Next one. Both these are funny. Okay, President Trump said this. This was part of his speech he made to the at Quantico the other day. And the last one is no shit. Yes, LBJ did say that. And the first part of that was him talking about.
Leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, round under my back to my bunghole. All right.
Little tidbits from the presidents and what they like to say. Some of that was public, some of it was private, but hey, it's all there.
Leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, round under my back to my bunghole.
Info.